So here's the thing nobody tells you until it's way too late. The Appalachian Mountains are older than the human language. Like dinosaur extinction is recent history level old. Before trees, before the continents even finished buffering. So when people go missing there, they don't just disappear. It's just kind of like the land that like just erases their life file. And locals aren't scared. They're trained. It's not superstition, it's just etiquette. You don't answer your name called from the woods. You don't pick up things you didn't drop. The forest suddenly goes silent. You don't need to ask why. You just leave. No hesitation. Curiosity is how you get drafted as biomass. You'll hear people talk about mimics and things that just almost sound human but not quite right. A voice calling you but it's like off by 1%, like it downloaded your voice from early access. Hunters have straight up heard their own voice yell their name from behind them. That's not ghost behavior, that's predator behavior. Search dogs will literally refuse to enter certain parts, not like scared, they go limp. Like the air turned heavy, silent, like predatory silent. The woods don't just go quiet, they just straight up mute. And then there's like this staircases. Yeah, like actual staircases. It's literally so random. Perfectly clean, leading nowhere, just sitting deep in the woods like something pressed copy and paste. Everyone who lives near that forest, the rule is universal. If you see stairs, ignore them. Don't climb, don't touch, don't look too long, don't acknowledge it ever. People wake up in their tents with like time missing, like a cutscene missing. You look at your phone, it says 3 hours gone, no wounds, no headache, but that nauseous fourth wall feeling you experience is like something you were not cleared to remember. Also, there's like these normal ghosts, right? Like the Civil War brides, old miners, whatever it is. But Appalachia is not ghost coded. It is sentient ecosystem coded. It feels like the land knows you stepped in and it gives you like two warnings and then stops explaining. Hunters say if something tries to bluff you, you pretend you don't notice. If you look into the tree line and realize something's already looking back, pretend you freaking didn't. It's literally just a respect test. If you panic, pray. If you acknowledge, challenge. If you remain neutral, you're tolerated. Day visitors are tolerated, night is not. It's basically just survival, but old survival. Before human logic, we don't have instincts strong enough for that. Our brains are filtered. These are things out there just have not bothered evolving to be understandable. So yeah, I wouldn't know if I believe in casual ghosts, but Appalachia is just something, a place that just isn't right. It's just running its original operating systems, and humans are just like a temporary update. And let's just talk about that moment in the Appalachian Mountains again. You know, where it's like a moment where every experienced ranger, local, or rescue worker has felt, but like barely admits it, where like the forest just stops sounding alive. No insects, no birds, no wind, just no movement in the canopy at all, just perfect and unnatural silence. And every single time this happens, the people who survive it will tell you the same thing. It felt like something was watching us. And you know what? The Appalachian Mountain Range is actually a nearly a half a billion years old, older than the Atlantic Ocean itself, and buried in its ridges and hollows are thousands of documented disappearances, military involved investigations, luminous anomalies, and reported voice mimicking entities that to this day remain officially unexplained. So, tonight, boys and ladies, and whoever else is out there, we strip away the folklore, no urban legend, no TikTok exaggerations, all right? Just verifiable, logged, and historically consistent phenomenons. A pattern, it's just too coherent, all right? Let's talk about the first one, the mimic phenomenon. Red River Gorge, Kentucky in 2019. There was a 911 call of a hiker missing, search dogs were deployed, and then refused to go past a dry creek bed. Not cower, just refuse, whimpering, trying to turn back. And minutes later, an SAR team hears the missing hiker's voice calling for help. Same tone, same cadence, identical. Thermal imaging shows nothing, zero heat signature. The voice stops only when directly approached. This is not folklore. This is literally logged. And so let's talk about another one. So the Smoky Mountains in 2012, senior SAR Lee just says, if we hear a voice deeper in the forest, we freeze. We do not answer. If it is them, they don't move away when we approach. Whatever this is, always stays just out of reach. So the Cherokee oral tradition predates colonization, essentially describes entities known as Sulkalu. I don't know if I said that right. Sulkalu. No ghosts, not demons, just the ones who echo. That is the literal meaning and translation. It literally means he who imitates. Let's talk about the second case here we got. Zero trace disappearance cases. 1969, Dennis Martin case in the Smoky Mountains. A family trip, broad daylight, child hides to scare relatives, vanishes mid-step. U.S. Army Green Berets arrive within hours. Zero public explanation, not even a standard procedure. Separate civilian witnesses, never interviewed by the Park Service for 40 years, reported seeing a large, rough, human shaped figure carrying something over its shoulder. Official records never even mention this. In 2021, Appalachian, Tennessee, 8-hour disappearance of a 9-year-old girl found barefoot, 4,600 feet elevation. No injuries, no panic, no memory. She later simply said, I followed the other me, and then refused further detail. The Brown Mountain Lights. This is the third case we got going. North Carolina, 1913, first official military to support report. Not civilian cavalry patrol. That is insane. All right. 1913, 1962, 1977, and 1999, as well as 19. No, my bad. 2016. I got caught in the 19s loop. Jesus. Excuse me. Multiple scientific expeditions. The results are ionized plasma discharges, measurable, real light with no heat signature. But witnesses, many credible, describe something more. It responds to your attention. It tracked me across the ridge, moved only when I looked away, and it never broke direct line of sight first. That was from a 1972 forestry officer's sworn statement. Locals warn, you can watch it, you just must never follow it. The next one, I don't know what number this is because I have them marked in Roman numerals, my bad. But intelligent observers, the unrecognized predator. Countless documented Appalachian accounts report perfectly motionless, unblinking human shaped silhouettes, often partially obscured by a tree. Most people have called them these little peaky blinder cryptids or something like that. I wouldn't know because I'm not into this kind of stuff. But they're not animals. Animals flinch to light, not humans. Humans shift feet, breathe visibly, and blink. These figures always follow the same behavior pattern. They appear only where escape routes are limited. They do not break line of sight first. And if acknowledged, they vanish in physically impossible trajectories, not into the forest, upward, along with vertical rock faces, which no primate on Earth should be even capable of. Official SAR incident code still in use is do not engage, return to path. Here's why the authorities actually avoid the word paranormal. We searched for government denial, and there is none, just omission. From 1978 to 1995, CIA Project Stargate, declassified in 2017, remote viewing operations included Appalachian coordinates. Final notes before funding withdrawal classify several rural sectors as persistent anomaly clusters. They did not debunk what was happening, they simply stopped attempting to measure it. Here's the consistent element across every story: Cherokee legend, Ranger testimony, missing persons clusters, and ionized plasma, EM field distortion. One single behavior repeats. The moment you acknowledge it, it acknowledges you back. Not random, no residual energy, just reactive and aware. So, listen, guys, this is not a ghost story and it is not a monster story. It is an environmental intelligence deeply old, non human or post human, one that behaves like a perfect observer. No hunting bodies, hunting awareness. If you walk into those woods and it wants you to know it's there, you won't see it first, but it will make certain you feel seen. All right? So listen, just want to leave y'all with that because I needed to make a spooky episode because honestly, it was kind of fun. Tune in on the 31st.